The easiest way to access the St. Mary Falls trailhead is through the St. Mary entrance on the east side of Glacier National Park. You do not need a vehicle reservation in 2025, and if you're watching this in any year other than 2025, please make sure to check nps.gov for updates on that. You do, however, need a park pass to enter any entrance of Glacier National Park. I prefer to get the America the Beautiful pass. You can do this online at REI or in person, but I recommend just getting one before you go. It's about $80, but it lasts for the entire year and you can access all the national parks on this one pass. So once you get through the entrance, it will take you about 15 minutes to get to the trailhead and parking lot. There's not a lot of parking here, so it definitely pays to get up early and secure your parking spot. We arrived at the trailhead at 7:30 a.m. and there was no parking. So we had to find parking down the road about a half a mile and walk back up to the trailhead. Another perk to getting there early is that you'll get to experience the trail with less people on it. We hiked out when we had a good distance between the next group of hikers, but coming back it was getting pretty crowded. There is a shuttle stop near the trailhead as well, so you'll have the people who are parked and those that are getting dropped off by the shuttle if you wait too late in the day. As you might have seen, there is a pit toilet at the beginning of the hike, and there's also a second pit toilet right before you get to Virginia Falls. The hike to St. Mary Falls alone is 2.4 miles round trip, and to keep going to Virginia Falls, it makes it 4.3 miles round trip with 305 feet of elevation gain. It's not a difficult hike. It's listed as moderate, and I agree with that. I would say that it's easy to get to St. Mary Falls and moderate to get to Virginia Falls. We pass people of all ages on this trail and all fitness levels, so it's a great trail to add to your list if you have kids or even older people joining you. Depending on strength and endurance, you could always hike out to St. Mary Falls and then turn around and come back from there. In 2015, there were fires that burned through this area, which is why there's so many dead trees. But it's so awesome to see all of the little trees that are coming in and all of the vegetation that is growing back. So the hike to St. Mary Falls is very open, and what you see in this video so far is pretty much the look of the whole trail up to St. Mary Falls. And it is beautiful. I personally think the hike to St. Mary Falls is prettier than the hike to Virginia Falls, but the destination of Virginia Falls definitely beats St. Mary. When hiking anywhere in Glacier National Park, you always need to carry bear spray. All 4 of us had our own can. We never had to use it, but I would rather spend the money and have it than to be stuck without it. And also, make sure that it's somewhere accessible, because you don't want to be caught in a situation where you need your bear spray and you leave it in your backpack. I clip mine on the lower strap of my backpack that goes across to my waist. It makes it very easy to access. So you can purchase bear spray pretty much at any grocery store, gas station, and all visitor center. Just remember that you cannot take it home on the plane with you. You can leave your unused bear spray at designated collection points at the visitor center, ranger stations, and park hotels, or donate it to a local business before you leave. We personally always leave ours with our Airbnb hosts just because we have awesome hosts. So, while we're on the topic of bears, remember to always make noise. Even if the trail is semi populated, you never know. You don't want to surprise a bear, especially one with cubs. So, 2 out of 4 people in our group had bear bells on their backpacks, and we always kept them jingling, even if we were talking. Remember to always listen to your body because it's always going to tell you what it needs. So we chose this as our acclimation hike to kind of get used to the thinner air. We live in Florida, so we're coming from 20 feet above sea level to way higher than that in Montana. And so one of the most important things that we had to focus on especially was making sure we were drinking enough water. And this day I found myself not drinking enough water, and my body was definitely telling me that it was thirsty and it was hungry because for some reason I did not eat breakfast. And I highly recommend that you always eat breakfast if you're going hiking. But make sure that you bring enough snacks. Make sure that you bring more snacks than what you could even think you would need. Nothing too heavy because you don't want to weigh down your pack, but granola bars, trail mix. We have energy chews that are pretty much pure sugar because your body does need sugar. And also, we bring a lot of electrolytes because you have to keep your salt levels up. And they taste good to me. I like them. I have to say something on this part because it is so important. Do not eat the berries unless you 100% know what they are. So my dad found this berry, he squished it in his hands, and he said that it smelled like a poisonous seed. I highly recommend doing some research on the berries in Glacier before you go, because if you find huckleberries, eat them. You might also come across a berry that looks like a raspberry. These are called thimbleberries, and yes, you can eat those too. They're very unique. They almost melt in your mouth even though your brain is telling you that you should have to chew it like a raspberry. I want to talk about the weather in Glacier National Park because it is always changing. So we went last year in 2024 at the exact same time over my birthday in the first week of September. And last year we were bundled up, we had our puffer jackets on, we had gloves on. It was cold, like really until probably noon, 1 o'clock. It finally kind of started to warm up. Well, this year, this video was taken at probably 9 o'clock in the morning by the time we were almost to Virginia Falls, and we were hot. Like, it was warm. We were shedding layers. Every single hike that we did this year, we shed layers within the first hour. So look at the weather as you're packing, as time's getting closer, but also make sure that you bring layers because you never know when the weather's going to change. The last day that we were there, it was probably 20 degrees less than what it had been the entire week that we were there. And I was excited because I could have finally worn all of my winter clothes that I brought, but make sure that you're keeping an eye on the weather as you're getting closer to your trip and just making sure that you're prepared. And also, if you don't know what you want or you don't have a ton of winter clothes, most people buy things at the visitor center and local shops. So maybe just leave a little bit of extra room in your suitcase in case you want to buy a hoodie or, a nice jacket or something that you would be able to take home. When you get to this fork in the road where we all look super lost and like we don't know where to go, this is, you can either go right and you can go up to Virginia Falls where the water is coming down and where you might possibly and probably get a little bit wet. Or you can go left to start, and that's where your pit toilet is, and you get a look at Virginia Falls from below. It's nothing spectacular. I'm not going to tell you that it is, but it is a great spot to eat lunch where you can sit in the sun a little bit and enjoy your lunch before making the last little leg up the hill and to the waterfall and then begin your descent. I just want to thank you all for watching this, and I really hope that it helps you plan your next trip to Glacier National Park. You know, especially if it's your first time, you want to make sure that you're able to make the most out of the time that you spend there. It's very, very difficult to see the entire park in one trip unless you are there for weeks at a time. We came back this year and finally did the east side for the first time, and Two Medicine and Mini Glacier. Last year we only did the west side, and it was just spectacular. So we have to come back next year because we have not done North Fork yet. So if you plan on going to the park next year, maybe I will see you on the trails. If I do, say hi. And also shout out to that girl because that was awesome, and I'm so glad I was able to airdrop her that video before I left. So after we wrapped up, we headed to the St. Mary Village, and everybody is just so nice. Like, I just love the people in Montana because they're so friendly. And like I said, I'm from Florida and people aren't always friendly. So it is a breath of fresh air. So just remember to be kind to each other, especially on the trail. Everybody's trying to escape reality. Everybody's on vacation, and everybody deserves to just have the best time ever and enjoy this beautiful world that we've been given. So if you liked this, please subscribe. Stay tuned because I'm going to have so many more videos coming out. I have hours and hours and hours of content to go through. I'm most excited to share with you my Grinnell Glacier hike that I did on my birthday, and I can't wait to share that with you all. So make sure that you are subscribed, and I will see you all very soon in my future videos.